years ago, one of our families offered Chrysalis any 10 pages from a Bible purchased at a flea market while they were traveling around Paris. What are the odds? A new student that year, a senior, stated in his admissions interview a week later that when he graduated he wanted to become a professor of religious studies. All seniors are required upon graduation to create a project that reflects their passions or creativity of expression. The senior selected the task of translating, which was in Latin and Old French, and selecting the 10 pages to be donated to Chrysalis Experiential Academy. He consulted with local area ministers for guidance during the selection process. We had no information as to the origin of the pages. The Bible pages were rectangular in shape and were magnificently illustrated. The family shared with Richard several emails from rare book expert Antonio Ramo of the Antonio Ramo Galleries in Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Ramo had not been able to identify the origin yet. However, his email gave us a starting point in our search for the artist who had created the pages. During this discovery phase of the project, in an effort to protect the pages, we had professional copies of the individual pages made by our business partner, Regency Fine Art. The senior was in the school library and picked up a copy of National Geographic Visual History of the World. When he was thumbing through the pages, he noticed there was a section related to religion and began to read it more in depth. He brought the book to Richard because he noticed that one of the images had many of the unique characteristics that were similar to the 10 pages that he had researched and selected. What are the odds? The family, generous beyond imagination, asked Richard if he would present a page to the senior at the time of his graduation, out of appreciation for his efforts over the school year. Richard agreed, and the family later presented him with a page the senior had particularly liked, and at the same time asked him what his favorite story in the Bible was. Richard answered that he had always loved the portion that dealt with Moses entering the sea and then the sea parting, which he said has always been a statement representative of true faith to him. Weeks passed, and then one day a family member brought to Richard a page, stating that they wanted to give him this gift after all that he had done for the school and for their son. They said that they had picked out the page representing the biblical passage that was most powerful to him. Ironically, this page did not represent the story that he had described to them. Richard accepted the page with sincere gratitude, loved the page, and thanked them. What are the odds? It was the image that appeared in the National Geographic Visual History of the World. The family had never seen or known about the image in the book. The image was of Moses overlooking the Promised Land. It was close to the end of the school year, and all of the seniors' efforts to contact National Geographic by phone and email had not been successful. The school year ended with graduation, and the mystery was still unsolved. At the beginning of this academic year, 2009 to 2010, we once again began our quest for the identity of the artist that had created these magnificent images. At the beginning of the year, the high school class went on a field study to the Antonio Ramo Galleries. Mr. Ramo shared with us a great deal about rare books. His knowledge and experience encouraged us to forge ahead to solve the mysteries of the origin of the history of these Bible pages. The weekend approached, and Richard brought home the National Geographic book to further explore the acknowledgments related to the thousands of images in this pictorial reflection of the history of the world. He came across an acknowledgment that most of the images were provided by the AKG Images, London, Berlin, Paris. Richard tried to research this company for hours and was not successful. Finally, Richard contacted one of the parents from Chrysalis, who is a highly respected artist and photographer, by phone. He was on an assignment in London when Richard reached him by phone. What are the odds? He was with some others and was able to give Richard the necessary contact information immediately. He emailed the company explaining the project that our school had undertaken. The company responded immediately. They provided the school with online access to their gallery of images. After hours of searching through their numerous images, Richard found the image that appeared to be the one pictured in the National Geographic book. It was unbelievable! Richard then took out the page that he had been given and compared every detail, going so far as to count and match rocks and trees. It was a perfect match. What are the odds? The AKG Images Archives provided Richard with the following additional information. The artist was Matthias the Elder, or Matthias Marian. He published or printed Bible pages between 1625 and 1630. Our findings were submitted to Mr. Ramo, and he confirmed for us that there are only 3 copies that are known to exist. 2 are in museums and 1 is in a private collection. AKG Images have made their copies from the one that is from a private collection. We have purchased several books that provide us with more information about the artist. Matthias the Elder's daughter, Maria Sibylla Marian, was also an artist and a naturalist. In an effort to research her possible involvement in the creation of the plates, we purchased a biography only to find the title of a rare and meaningful connection to the school. What are the odds? The title of the book is Chrysalis by Kim Todd. The ISBN number is located in the printed Tuesday Topics. 52 years old, Maria set sail 300 years ago on a solo scientific expedition to study insect metamorphosis. Her life was dedicated to the study of transformation. Chrysalis Experiential Academy exists to provide for the students a cocoon of nourishment so that the student can reach their fullest beauty and potential. Richard, the school faculty and staff are dedicated to facilitating this transformation. The project still continues. There are mysteries unsolved. We still have more questions than we have answers. Are these original pages or reprints? What is their value? Why is there a watermark on the back of each page representing King Louis XIV? We continue with our search. What are the odds? On February 9th, several of our students will return to the Antonio Ramo Galleries to gain guidance in solving the remaining questions to this mystery. Donna Lowry from NBC 11 Alive will join us with her camera person, Kathy Bourne, to document the amazing story of What Are the Odds?